2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And the Clippers starting five. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. And it's Mbah a Moute in at the 3 spot. It's incredible to think that Pau Gasol last year set a career high in points in a game for as long, Clark, as he's played. He had that 46-point game in January.
Yeah, that's 46 points for Pau to go with 18 rebounds. I mean,
right.
You rarely see a player of his age putting up a career high like that.
Rose kicks to Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Butler's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And how about that for a response?
Well, it sounded as though, or at least it looked as though it sounded like, we'll give you a 3, and then we'll take it right back.
You know, he almost pulled the trigger on that possession, but recognized that there was a better option. That's what we mean by playing for your teammates.
Dunleavy up top. He's guarded by Mbah a Moute. Here's Butler, and it's Chicago scoring again.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Gasol with the steal. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. So many people overlooked Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that, Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game, and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
Paul. And the wide-open shot from Redick. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Gibson passes to Gasol. Rose with the good by Gibson.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's Griffin. Makes it off the glass. Griffin's got his first points of the game.
You know, you're going to have success when you can start out shooting 80% from the game. So early offensively, they've been great. That's the way you like to start.
Butler dishes to Gasol. Pass to Rose. Goes up on the wing. Good. And the assist goes to Gasol. Guys, no one team. Gaining control early on.
Give and take, back and forth the whole way thus far.
Yeah, and you look at the lead changes, 6 already.
Paul kicks to Jordan. It's Redick on the wing. Paul passes to Mbah a Moute. And the foul called on Pau Gasol. Here is Paul. Gasol knocks it away. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. Oh! Jam! I mean, just beautiful.
No doubt that is within his range.
Well, I would hope so. He's a pro, and it was only a 1-footer. Come on now.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia.
Boy, Doc Rivers keeps on leading his teams to successful seasons. A former coach of the year rarely has a season where his team doesn't meet expectations.
Now here's Gasol. Jimmy Butler unable to get his last shot to go. That 3 off the mark. Clippers trail by 3. And the wide open shot from Paul. And the Clippers miss again. And Doc Rivers passed the 700-win mark as a coach last season. He's climbing the ladder in career wins.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know that Doc oftentimes gets enough credit for the type of coach he is. I mean, as a coach, he is well over 500 in terms of his career win percentage. And how about over 500 in playoff games as well?
Rose attacking. That's good. Rose has got his second bucket.
3 consecutive baskets have come right at the rim. Defense had better start buckling down and tightening up.
Guys, they are getting exposed in terms of their low post defense.
Whoa. That'll wake you up. My goodness.
Is he an athlete or what?
He knows if he lives in the air, and dunks like that have become quite commonplace.
Got a piece of it. Butler with the steal. Top of the key, Rose. The shot's good on the assist by Butler. And that's now 6 points for Derrick Rose.
Easy to see who's going to win that race.
Yeah, early offense is often easy offense. Excellent work that time.
And the Clippers call time here. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Taj Gibson. Doug McDermott, he's checked in for Dunleavy. And Brooks subbed in for Rose. The Clippers also making some changes. Green, he's checked in for Jordan. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. And it's Rivers in for Chris Paul.
And for all of the improvements he's made to his game, one wonders why Blake Griffin isn't a better shot blocker. I mean, he clearly has the motor and the athleticism, but for some reason over his first 5 seasons, he's averaged only a half a block per game.
And stolen by Mirotic. And Brooks, here we go. And he converts the layup. Brooks has got his first bucket in this one.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
And Mbamute kicks to Rivers. And Mbamute dishes to Griffin. Crawford outside. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Crawford's got his first 3 points of the game.
Boy, this game is off to a flying start.
Yeah, we're seeing some high-octane offense from both sides in this one.
And it's Butler missing. And here we go. Fast break. Crawford's got it. No good. That would have tied it.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And so both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. Bulls lead by 2. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. And a word from Chris Paul, who has a little something to say about the success of a very special and,
Blake, everything that...
Of course, we know that Blake would say the exact same thing about Chris Paul. Chris and Blake Griffin share so much in common when it comes to being the hardcore Clippers their owner brags about all the time.
And you think about it, Chris Paul is not easily impressed, nor is Doc Rivers, for that matter, but both of these guys have praised Griffin for how hard he's worked and how far he's come in his career.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. Looking at what we've seen from the Bulls, what do you guys think?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and, you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at Los Angeles. Chris Paul and J.J. Redick are the guards. Pierce is out there with Jordan. And it's Green in at the small forward position.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
And, guys, the Clippers last year, they were okay against the Eastern Conference, but not spectacular. You would have thought that with how well they were overall, they would have just really feasted on the East.
Paul with the three, and Gasol sends it back. But they'll get another chance. And it's Paul penetrating, clock at 4, and stolen by Mirotic. Brooks kicks to Moore. It's stolen by Green. And here we go, Paul heading to the hoop, and he lobs it up toward the rim from outside the arc. The Clippers keep it alive. Redick with it, guarded now by Aaron Brooks. The dish now to Pierce. Here's Paul. It's good. This game is all even. Paul's got his second bucket. The game to go. As you said with the Clippers, Greg, they did decently against the Eastern Conference, but of the Western playoff teams, Clark, they had the second worst record against the Eastern Conference.
And you know, things like that matter, Kevin. I mean, they struggled against Eastern Conference playoff teams, went only 6-10 against those teams last year.
Chicago making some changes. Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Mirotic. Justin Holiday comes in for E'Twaun Moore. And it's Rose in for Aaron Brooks. And Los Angeles making a change here as well. Johnson's checked in.
And another lead change here. How many of these are we going to have tonight?
I'm not quite sure, but I'm willing to bet it'll be more than a few. Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assist.
And Justin Holiday picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Taj Gibson's checked in for Portis. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Outside for Jordan. And it's Johnson penetrating. Redick, a good look. And that misses. That would have put him up.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while. Look at the big fella working on that possession. He knows how to fend guys off and get those rebounds.
How nice was that alley-oop? Those two really have a good connection.
Yeah, read each other so well. It's a play I'm sure, Clark, they love to run.
And as a receiver, though, the need to go for that monster finish. Just the nice little silky smooth layup.
And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for the Clippers.
Boy, they've really amped up the pressure at the defensive end, guys, and have piled up the steals in the early going.
And another thing they've done right from the start is converting. A lot of those second chance opportunities, those can be hard to come by sometimes.
Well, and this run really triggered by their transition offense.
And you can see the momentum swinging now. They've gotten a huge boost of energy. And now the offense starting to click.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Doug McDermott comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Jimmy Butler coming in for Justin Holiday. And out of bounds is Chicago gains possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Bulls trail by 7.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injury. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
And he just leaves the D in the dust and explodes to the basket.
You're right. Clark, maybe a momentum changer right there, huh?
It could be, Kevin. I mean, a dunk like that can sometimes get an opponent reeling. Well, I tell you what, they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy, fast break baskets.
And on a really nice run here. And defensively, you've got to force them to operate in the half court. It allows you to put bodies on bodies. And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Full 24-second shot clock. There's 1:26 left here in the second, and that one's good.
You know, it's really hard not to notice the difference in the passing of these two teams today.
Yeah, it's a stark discrepancy when you look at the assist columns and you see that difference as far as the fluidity in their respective offenses.
Gibson with the steal. Passes it to Rose. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to go on Cole Aldridge.
Looking at the game Rose has been having, he has 8 points, and he's been delivering a healthy dose of helpers, too.
He really has, Clark. Always with his head up, looking to make the pass, trying to find the open man.
Mirotic is checked in for the Bulls. And the Clippers making a change here as well. Green, he's checked in for Cole Aldridge. To the inside. Here's Mirotic. Can't get it to go. The Clippers go the other way with it.
Hard work on the glass once again, fellas. They put a lot of effort into their rebound.
There's a reason why they have 3 seconds in the lane, and that interior play has made a big difference in this game.
There's Crawford with the 3. Crawford missing again.
He hit a 3 in the first, but so far has been unable to capitalize here in this quarter.
And it's Butler missing.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
And stolen by Mirotic. Outside Rose. Pass to Noah from 12 feet out. And it's out of bounds. And they say last touch by Griffin. Just 4 seconds left in the
nation. Now that's what we call competing for a rebound.
And that concludes the first half. The Clippers on top, up by 7. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Here with Chris Paul. And Chris, the first half, plenty of assists, lots of points up on the board. What are you seeing out there that gives you the confidence to make so many plays?
Well, in one of these games, it's very up-tempo, fast-paced, and, you know, they just run. I have fun, you know, assisting and passing them the ball, so it's a fun game for me.
You have fun playing, and we have fun watching, Chris.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. The first quarter was all about Blake Griffin. He had 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 block. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
Well, Ernie, Kenny, the offense was running really well. And their shooting percentage was outstanding, and it wasn't just luck. It's because the offense never allowed the opposing defenders to get comfortable.
And now, Kenny, let's get your opinion on the Bulls.
Well, the differential in rebounding was huge. And it goes back to the fundamentals, blocking out and just maintaining position. Instead, they went to the...
Well, that's all for now, as it looks like the second half is just about ready.
Second half just about to get going here. You look at Blake Griffin in this game. He's been everywhere.
just a dominating performance in the post by him so far, just tearing them to shreds when he gets it inside.
Yeah, and getting it to him is the only hard part, fellas. I mean, once he has it, he's automatic. Forget about it. He can do work down there.
Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Gibson is the 4 with Gasol at the 5. And it's Dunleavy in at the small forward. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. The shot's good from Griffin.
Nice little lead they're enjoying here, and they deserve it with all the work they put in on the glass.
Yeah, the effort and the aggression really favors them thus far. They've completely dominated the backboard.
Hey, there's no denying it. DeAndre Jordan was a force on the boards last season. Led the league with 15 rebounds a game.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. That sends Chris Paul to the free throw line. They get Paul Gasol. You know, talking about Jordan, very dominant, obviously, on the glass. Not only had the most rebounds, but gee, he also had the best rebound percentage at 32%.
And Kevin, I know you know that, but for our fans, that rebound percentage is the percent of rebounds a player could have grabbed, and that speaks to effort as well. And when Jordan was on the floor, he was getting a third of every possible defensive rebound.
Second half just getting started, about a minute played, and the foul called on Paul Gasol. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And it's the Clippers with the ball. Here's Griffin, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And you see the way Blake Griffin plays. He is a force. Very hard to contain him when he gets in close, just due to his strength and activity.
For Griffin and his ability to create contact close, he's been called a bull in a china shop, something that I think Clarkie embraces.
Yeah, I think he'd rather be the bull than the china in that situation because of his strength and physicality. And I think that's the right mentality to have as a power forward.
It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession. Bulls making a switch here. Holiday's checked in.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
On defense, Chicago, a 12-point game.
Yeah, that's got them over the limit, and it's still early. They'll have to play smart, or they could give up a lot of free throws.
The Clippers have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game. Bulls had a good year against the West last season, 17 up, 13 down against the Western Conference.
Yeah, and how about playing 500 or better against every division in the Western Conference? So impressive to think they did so well, given how many games some of their starting players missed.
And Mbamute with it. Butler covering. And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Yes, fans, Clark, and the one team they view as floppers is the Clippers. I don't like that word, but it just kind of came out. Whether that is fair or not is up for debate, but it is certainly, I think, the perception.
And I think there's some truth to that perception. I mean, multiple players have received fines for flopping on their roster. I mean, you can't run away from that, and the fans remember it, too.
Oh, they do, yes, sir. Redick for 3. They get it again. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
And Kevin, plays like that are really the reason they've got a nice lead right now. Just a great job on the glass.
And Greg, the jam and the follow gets their whole bench jumping. Clark, look at them. They are really into it.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's a little salt in the wound there. I mean, they take a miss and turn it into one of the plays of the game. That hurts.
Looking to get it going. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And for the Clippers and flopping, part of it might just be reputation. Whenever anyone hits the deck on their team, fans might be quick to kind of condemn that as a flop.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Doug McDermott comes in for Taj Gibson. And it's Brooks in for Jimmy Butler. Cole Aldrich, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Johnson comes in for Mbamute.
You know, the Clippers were the darlings of the NBA as they improved and made strides, but I think the flopping has kind of diminished that now, that love affair. Being labeled a group of floppers can certainly stifle your popularity.
Paul against Brooks. Johnson, the pass to Paul. Now the feed to Aldrich. Tries again, and there's the nice layup by Griffin. Griffin's got 18 points in the game.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
And Brooks, here we go. And Aldrich sends it back. And now Reddick pushing it up. No one back to stop him. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. 10 points for him.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Chicago making some changes. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gasol. Mirotic comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Moore subbed in for Justin Holiday. The Clippers also making some changes. Jeff Green is checked in for Griffin. Crawford comes in for J.J. Redick. And it's Rivers in for Chris Paul. And the Clippers making a change here. Pierce is checked in. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 12 points with the basket from Noah. Los Angeles has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And last year, not exactly up to Noah's lofty standards. Was way down in field goal percentage and free throw percentages compared to the season before, but he did not play completely healthy all of last year either.
A little dinged up, missed 13 games more than he had the season prior, and also the minutes dropped as well. And you could just see him laboring at times on the floor, clearly affected by those injuries.
That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from McDermott. We've got 1:28 left in the third quarter of the game. Rivers dishes to Pierce. And the wide open shot from Green. Nailed from three-point land. Green's got his first 3 points of the game.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
Pierce with a wide open look. And again, it's the Clippers from deep. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Clippers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And how about the work they're doing also on the offensive glass? Creating those extra opportunities has been critical.
Here's Aldrich.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. And he knocks down the first one.
And injuries, once again, were a central theme of the Bulls' season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Portis, who's checked in for McDermott. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Aaron Brooks.
And really, just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Jordan, he's checked in for the Clippers. Pierce kicks to Jordan. Stolen by Noah. Shot and game clock separated by 5. Here's Rose. That's all good, and that's his fifth basket of the game. He's shooting 5 for 11 now.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Frozen. Guys just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Here's Rivers. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Rivers has got his first 2 points.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Bulls trail by 11. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth. Inside, it's Griffin and Jordan. Chris Paul, Amute in at the 3, the small forward. Redick against Butler. Gasol passes to Dunleavy. Gibson dishes to Rose. And Jordan sends it back. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. Redick with the three. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Griffin's got 3 assists now in this one. To the wing right side. Dunleavy. The Bulls keep it alive. From deep, Rose. And the Bulls with another miss.
That's not the best of shot selection there. The defense definitely won that possession.
Yeah, I think in that case, you've got to go elsewhere with the ball. You just can't rise up over the top of him when he's on you.
Here's Dunleavy, and foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
And the Bulls making a change here. Brooks checked in. Paul with the ball. He's picked up by Brooks. Redick for 3. And again, it's the Clippers from deep.
I love his shot selection today. He set the bar for the rest of the team.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
Out of bounds, Bulls ball. Chicago keeps possession.
Bulls ball.
Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
And the Clippers call time here.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
During that break, Coach Rivers had some words for his team. He told the players, let's put our foot on them and keep them down. We've got them exactly where we want them. I want to see you guys slow the pace, use the clock, and stay away from any silly fouls.
They've shown effort and aggression in the paint right from the tip. Their rebounding edge is impressive.
And they're giving themselves extra possessions and have taken advantage of it, and that's critical. You can shoot a few lesser percentage if you're getting more opportunities at the rim.
Gasol can't get that one to fall.
They really depend on him to convert those chances. A lot of times, even with solid D draped on him, they expect him to make it.
Redick with the bucket.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
Kicks to Gibson. Brooks outside. Nailed from three-point land.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
Lets the 3 fly. The offensive rebound. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Derrick Rose is checked in for Chicago.
Derrick Rose.
Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. And Mbamute kicks to Griffin.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
It's tipped. Gibson with the steal. He's all alone. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay.
Unfortunately, that's been the result for him over and over, guys. He just cannot find the bottom of the basket.
And there's the foul. It goes on Jimmy Butler. That's his third foul of the game. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Pau Gasol. Paul for three. And again, no good by the Clippers.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack. And that fella can flat out fly, can he?
Reminds me of a young Greg Anthony out of UNLV. No doubt about that. Just look at the elevation he climbed to right there.
Kevin, you just made my knees hurt.
That's what sets him apart from so many other point guards in the NBA.
Dunleavy, the pass to Butler. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot two.
Terrific game for Butler. 13 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
You know what? The number is not huge, but he has been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
So for the Bulls, Portis, he's checked in for Gibson. Justin Holiday comes in for Dunleavy. And it's Etuan Moore checking in for Rose. Here's Rivers. Los Angeles with another miss.
Oh, that's a tough three-point try when you've got the defense right there.
Well, he'd have to be really good to knock down a shot like that against that kind of defense.
And this is what they wanted. I mean, to announce their presence in this matchup with authority. Very decisive. It can definitely be considered a statement win for Los Angeles.
The key here, Clark, second chance points.
Well, they pounded the offensive glass, and Kevin, I also think they won the 50-50 balls, too.
And what a huge standout performance it was for Blake Griffin. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Crawford missing again. And here come the Bulls again. Chicago with the fast break.
Outstanding pass in transition there for the easy deuce.
It's been all Clippers. Here's the three, and that one's good.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
And that one's good by Noah.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Well, for the Clippers, they can just run out the clock. Crawford outside. Pierce inside the three-point line, and the shot is long.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage. It is so hard to contain. He just seems to get it done however he has to do it.
Timeout for the Clippers.
And the Clippers call time here. What do you think, guys?
You know, I'm not sure why you call a timeout this late. I mean, the game is more or less over.
I think they might just be taking a few extra seconds to enjoy the win. Is that plausible?
Or maybe just rubbing it in. That's possible.
So it's Los Angeles winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the...
Hey, Kevin, I'm here.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hi again, everybody. This is Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Time now to present our Jordan Player of the Game. Blake Griffin, he notched his season high, and his scoring really seemed to set the tempo for his team tonight.
Is there anyone in the NBA who's more straight up scary than Blake?
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not